Imagine waking up one day to find that your citizenship status, a core part of your identity, is under scrutiny simply because of where you were born. The Trump administration's bold attempt to dismantle birthright citizenship has brought the matter to the highest court in the land. This proposal not only challenges the norms, but also questions the American constitutional foundation. What does this mean for millions across the nation? And how will the Supreme Court's reaction shape the future of US citizenship? Welcome to Court Decoded. Today, the focus is on a legal battle reaching the Supreme Court that could redefine the very essence of American citizenship. Trump's proposal to end birthright citizenship has raised eyebrows, challenging not just policies, but the Constitution itself. How will this historic case influence the lives of millions and alter the landscape of American immigration? Let's delve into this crucial issue. In the United States, birthright citizenship has long been a fundamental principle, embedded in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. However, this bedrock of American identity is under question following a proposal by Donald Trump that seeks to eliminate this automatic right. Trump's proposal argues that granting citizenship based merely on birthplace is outdated and invites misuse. Proponents believe it creates incentives for illegal immigration and other related problems, arguing for a stricter interpretation that ties citizenship more closely to parental status. The proposal suggests that birthright citizenship fosters birth tourism and could lead to potential demographic and economic changes that could strain national resources. However, this radical shift departs from a centuries-old tradition that not only defines American citizenship, but emphasizes egalitarian values. It opposes the current interpretation of the Citizenship Clause, which traditionally asserts that any person born on US soil, regardless of parental nationality, automatically gains citizenship. This proposal sets the stage for a profound legal confrontation with potential constitutional implications, challenging established interpretations of the 14th Amendment itself. Birthright citizenship holds deep roots in American history, enshrined in the 14th Amendment in 1868 following the Civil War. It aimed to overturn the Dred Scott decision, a dark chapter where African Americans were denied citizenship. The framers intended to ensure that all persons born on US soil were citizens, a direct response to slavery and racial discrimination. The amendment's Citizenship Clause was revolutionary, establishing that the rights of citizenship were not to be abridged by racial prejudice or parental origin. It provided clarity with a simple premise: soil, not bloodlines, dictated American citizenship. This was seen as a move towards egalitarianism, reflecting the reconstructed values of a nation reborn after civil strife. Over time, birthright citizenship became a testament to America's openness and commitment to equality. However, the Trump administration's challenge to this principle sought to reinterpret these very foundations. Demanding that citizenship derives from intent rather than geography challenges this historical legacy. By targeting the birthright citizenship concept, Trump's proposal is inherently questioning a legal tradition that has been part of America's moral and legal framework for over 150 years. The Supreme Court sits as the ultimate arbiter in constitutional debates, tasked with interpreting the US Constitution. The court must weigh historical context, legal precedents, and contemporary societal implications. In the case of birthright citizenship, the stakes are immense. Previous landmark rulings, such as United States v. Wong Kim Ark in 1898, have fortified the interpretation of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment. This ruling unequivocally recognized the right to citizenship for children born in the US to foreign parents. Yet today, the court faces the tall order of revisiting these precedents. The skepticism expressed by the justices towards Trump's proposal highlights the tension between originalist and evolving interpretations of the Constitution. An originalist might adhere strictly to the text as understood at the time of the 14th Amendment's drafting. Conversely, a more dynamic interpretation considers evolving societal conditions. With the balance of individual rights and national interest at stake, the Supreme Court's decision will not only address legal arguments, but reverberate through political, social, and economic realms. Given the historical and legal weight, The court's deliberation on this case will be critical in shaping the nation's understanding of citizenship, stretching well beyond this immediate legal battle. Legal arguments concerning Trump's proposal to eliminate birthright citizenship engage a complex web of constitutional interpretation, statutory reading, and significant precedent. At the heart of the case lies the interpretation of the 14th Amendment's Citizenship Clause, which promises citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Proponents of the proposal argue that the phrase "subject to the jurisdiction thereof" was intended to exclude certain groups, specifically those children of non-citizens or illegal residents, implying limitations not historically recognized. They assert that the rapidly changing dynamics of immigration necessitate a re-evaluation of this long-standing interpretation. Opponents maintain that the clause was explicitly designed to be broad, self-evident in the amendment's language and its historical purpose of providing citizenship to freed slaves and their descendants. They argue adherence to precedent, emphasizing the need to prevent a backslide into discriminatory practices. The debates bring into question the court's willingness to uphold or overturn entrenched interpretations of constitutional text. The results could redefine citizenship in a manner unseen since the post-Civil War era, affecting millions and potentially setting a precedent for altering other constitutional guarantees. The birthright citizenship debate encapsulates the broader judicial philosophy clash between originalism and the idea of a living constitution. Originalists argue that legal texts should be interpreted based on original meanings at the time they were ratified, representing a more stable and predictable judicial approach. Conversely, advocates for a living constitution promote a more adaptable reading of the Constitution, one that accommodates contemporary social and cultural changes. This perspective asserts that the framers could not have anticipated modern societal developments, advocating for interpretations in line with current realities and values. In the birthright citizenship context, originalists might argue for a stricter reading of "subject to the jurisdiction thereof," analyzing historical intentions and restricting citizenship criteria. Proponents of a living constitution emphasize flexibility, suggesting the principles of inclusivity and equality should evolve. The decision by the Supreme Court could signal its prevailing philosophical leanings, impacting not only this issue, but setting a tone for future legal debates. As such, this constitutional challenge stands at the crossroads, testing the resilience and adaptability of American legal foundations. Immigration policy in the United States operates at a contentious intersection of legal frameworks, economic considerations, and political ideologies. Trump's proposal to eliminate birthright citizenship brings this intersection into sharp focus, promising significant repercussions on modern immigration policy. Should birthright citizenship be redefined, the implications are profound. It could potentially discourage birth tourism, where individuals travel to the US for the sole purpose of giving birth to secure citizenship for their child. It might also alter immigration dynamics, as citizenship pathways would become less accessible for the children of immigrants, potentially shifting immigration trends. Opponents of this shift argue that it could lead to an increase in stateless children, those born without automatic entitlement to any nation's citizenship, raising humanitarian and legal concerns. Moreover, it might foster divisive policies that disproportionately impact marginalized communities, exacerbating racial and socioeconomic divides. Supporters, however, view it as a necessary evolution to curb illegal immigration and protect national resources, arguing for sovereignty and tighter controls. The court's decision could either reaffirm the existing inclusive policy or endorse a new era in immigration law, dramatically influencing legislative directions and international perceptions of American immigration policy. Citizenship is more than a legal status. It's a core identity component that shapes societal roles and community belonging. Trump's proposition threatens this foundational element for many in the US, thrusting aspects of identity and equality into the national conversation. Defining citizenship by birthright symbolizes a nation's pledge to egalitarian values, inclusivity, and opportunity. Any alteration could disenfranchise a substantial population segment, creating tiers of citizenship that may unsettle national unity and social cohesion. Social scientists warn that altering birthright citizenship could perpetuate racial and socioeconomic disparities, fostering a climate of exclusion and marginalization. Individuals born to non-citizen parents may face systemic obstacles, limiting their access to resources, legal protections, and societal acceptance. Conversely, supporters of the proposal argue that it is crucial for ensuring that citizenship reflects genuine ties and allegiance to the nation, emphasizing responsibility and intent over geography. The ongoing debate over these ideological divides underscores how deeply this issue resonates within American society, challenging the nation to reassess its values and its interpretation of equality, identity, and community. With the hearing on the horizon, the Supreme Court's decision looms large, shrouded in anticipation and uncertainty. As justices deliberate, their comments hint at skepticism towards the proposal, but also reveal complexities in adjudicating such a far-reaching matter. The court must navigate a minefield of ideological stakes, historical context, and social consequences. The decision will likely hinge on interpretations of the 14th Amendment and set monumental legal precedents. Reaffirmation of birthright citizenship could silence calls for restrictive measures, whereas a rejection might accelerate legislative efforts to redefine citizenship laws. This landmark decision will extend beyond legal confines, providing the administration and Congress guidance on future policies. It will signal America's commitment to inclusivity, or a pivot towards restrictive reforms. The discourse sparked highlights America's ongoing struggle with balancing its immigrant heritage with current national interests. The court's ruling could redefine the legal landscape not just for citizenship, but for broader constitutional principles of equality and justice, ensuring its impact reverberates through every facet of American life. The Supreme Court's anticipated ruling on this critical issue promises to be a landmark decision with far-reaching implications for the American legal and cultural landscape. Should the court reaffirm the Constitution's current interpretation, it will uphold the principles of inclusivity and equality enshrined over a century ago. Such an outcome would validate the historical ethos that informs American citizenship, a birthright based on the universal promise of equality under the law. Alternatively, a decision favoring the proposed changes could open new legislative avenues for defining citizenship, encouraging discourse on national identity and immigration policies. It would also lay the groundwork for potential transformative amendments in existing civil rights protections. Ultimately, this case serves as a pivotal moment for the court to either reinforce or challenge long-standing legal doctrines and societal norms. The outcome will not only determine citizenship status for millions today, but set a precedent for how American legal frameworks evolve in response to shifting socio-political climates. This ruling will echo through the fabric of American law and identity, illustrating the power and responsibility courts hold in shaping the nation's future. Engage with the unfolding story of American citizenship. Subscribe to Court Decoded for more deep dives into complex legal issues shaping society. Share your thoughts on this case in the comments, and don't forget to like and share if you find this exploration insightful. Thank you for watching and supporting informed legal discourse.